Good morning guys, welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we're gonna be doing all of the food things. So last night after I put my baby to bed, I spent a good hour and a half meal planning and also ordering groceries. So I have to go pick those up here soon. But I started tracking my macros. I have a macro coach. I'm on day 10. I don't know how sustainable this is gonna be for me, but I'm trying to, give it a good shot. I am feeling really good and I do feel like I'm eating more balanced meals, but the whole actual tracking part, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this long term or not, but something I do think that's gonna help me is doing some meal prepping. So we're gonna give it a shot and do some meal prepping today, regardless if I continue to track macros or not. I think meal prepping is going to be a wonderful thing, and I used to do this a lot back in the day. So very excited to take today to do this. I have 3 different recipes that we are going to attempt to cook today. Hopefully I can do all 3 of them. And then I have a breakfast. I want to prep some fruit. I want to do a little bit of juicing. So we're gonna do all of that in today's video. I'm also very excited to use some new pans and knives from Hexclad today, and they are partnering with me in today's video, so more about them later, but we were in dire need of some new knives, so very excited to use those. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's gonna be kind of like a day in the life style of vlog, but we are gonna be doing all of the meal prepping, and hopefully this gives you some good meal ideas, healthy options. These are things that you could obviously just make for dinner, or you could meal prep them like I'm doing. But if you want to see some more food related videos like this, make sure to give this one a thumbs up so I know to make more. Hi Benjamin. Hi baby, may go home. Look at his cute little face. All the groceries back there. All right, let's go. Okay, we just got all the groceries inside. They're back here. I'm gonna do a grocery haul and share everything that we got. Today, I'm gonna be making a a taco bowl, a turkey taco bowl with rice. I'm gonna be making just like my simple go-to meal, which is barbecue chicken and sweet potato. And I think I'm doing a cauliflower rice with that one. And then I'm also gonna be making spaghetti squash, which we might actually just have for dinner because the spaghetti squash that they gave me is pretty small. So we might just save that for dinner tonight. But perfect timing because my husband just got home and he's gonna take Ben. So I can get started on all of this. Also, these are the new pans by Hexclad. This is the 6-piece Hexclad hybrid cookware set with the lids. I've used the small one to make some eggs and literally nothing stuck. But I'm gonna be using these today while I meal prep everything. And here are the knives that I got from Hexclad. These are the essential 6-piece Japanese Damascus steel knife set. I have not used these yet, so I'm going to share my first impression today. But I'm very excited because our knives were so dull, and I'm so happy to upgrade them because we are in need of some new knives, and I've heard really good things about this brand. All right, I'm going to give a quick grocery haul. Our garden has just got here, and it might get a little noisy, so I'm going to try to get through this pretty quickly, and then we'll get started on cooking. Got some Body Armor Light. This is the peach mango, by far the best flavor. I got some salsa for the bowls that I'm gonna do, some sour cream, 2 bags of cauliflower rice that I'm gonna make, popcorn because this is like Ty's favorite late night snack. Love True Fruit. I've never had the strawberry one, so I'm very excited about that. Power Crunch bars are always a go-to of mine, and I don't know why I must have ordered just like one random one. So got some Power Crunch bars. We have celery for juicing. I have some limes down there. I have avocado, banana, spaghetti squash. This is a pretty small one, so like I said, we'll probably just eat that tonight. Sweet potato, cilantro. We have eggs, and then hard-boiled eggs. My daughter loves these. We've got some marinara sauce, some almond butter, barbecue sauce. I have ground beef, I have chicken, and I have a ground turkey. I have watermelon over here, some mozzarella cheese. We have raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries. Lunchable for my daughter, she loves these. Frozen corn, frozen peas, Pop-Tarts for Scarlett, Eggo waffles for Scarlett, Frosted Flakes for Scarlett. And then I have almond milk, oat milk back here. Dave's Killer Bread is always my favorite type of bread. A thing of golden wheat bread, chocolate rice cakes. Saw somebody put almond butter and then they smashed raspberries on top and it looked really good. Then we got some pretzels. The chokehold these have on me, I love them so much. Cinnamon Crunch popcorners. They're so good. Anyways, that is everything. Oh, we also got Coke Zero, some like little cotton pads that I needed, and then we got toilet paper.
I don't think you could have raspberries, but...
So first things first, I'm gonna cut up all the strawberries and clean all the fruit. I use this from Trader Joe's. It's a fruit and vegetable wash. You could simply just use vinegar, but since I have this on hand, I'm gonna use this. We are gonna be making overnight oats, which I have shared before, but today we're gonna make, what do they call them? I think they call them protes, protein oats. So I'm gonna make a protein version, and I like to put strawberries on my overnight oats. So they're gonna be slightly different than what I've shared in the past. Try strawberry? Here. Do we like it? Oh, he's like, give me more. Okay, so first impression of the hexclad 3.5-inch paring knife. It slices through my fruit so well. There is a huge difference between using a Damascus steel knife compared to other types of knives. I had no idea. My husband actually just recently educated me on Damascus steel and why it's so good. Damascus steel is highly valued because it's hard and it's flexible, but it also maintains a really sharp edge. So yeah, first impression of this knife is it was awesome, and I'm really happy to upgrade my knives to these. Okay, I'm gonna get started on my overnight oats, and I'm making 6 of these because my husband will eat these too, so I'm making extra. What you're gonna need is some rolled oats. I love these old-fashioned oats by Bob Red Mills. And then I'm gonna be using oat milk as my base, a little bit of blue agave from Costco to sweeten it. I'm gonna use some almond butter, Mary Ruth's organic protein powder. This is the chocolate. I love this protein powder, and then some cinnamon. And then I almost forgot, I'm also gonna add some chia seeds for some extra fiber. I'll make sure to put the recipe down below in the description box to everything that I shared today, but I'll also have it right here on the screen. Overnight oats can be made so many different ways, but here's how I make them. I do half a cup of oats, a tablespoon of chia seeds, 1 scoop of your favorite chocolate protein powder. I personally love the Mary Ruth's organic chocolate protein powder. It's very good. I also like to add a dash of cinnamon and about a tablespoon of almond butter. And then this is optional, but if you want it a little bit sweeter, just add a little bit of agave nectar, or you could do honey. And then you're going to want to do equal parts oats to equal parts liquid. So I'm going to do half a cup of oat milk, but you could use whatever milk you'd want. Storing these in mason jars makes it very easy. I would definitely recommend it. So I just put the lids on, and then I can easily shake them up and put them in the fridge. They do need to sit for about 4 to 6 hours, and I do like to eat these cold, but you could certainly heat these up if you'd prefer to eat them warm. So I added it up. These have roughly around 400 calories or so, about 20 grams of protein, about 63 grams of carbs, and about 14 grams of fat. I'll top these with berries this week. So I have blueberries, raspberries, or strawberries to choose from, or I could do a mixture of both. These are just one of my favorite things to meal prep and to have in the fridge. Okay, I just put all of the chicken breasts in my air fryer. I'm gonna go ahead and get this cooked. All I do is add a cup of water, the chicken breast, and then I'm gonna add some barbecue sauce. I love barbecue chicken, so good. So I'm just gonna put that right on top. I'm not gonna use all of it though, just maybe half of the bottle. Gonna give that a quick stir. And then I am just gonna hit the poultry setting, cook this for about 11 minutes because these are chicken, like chicken tenders, not like full chicken breasts. So that should be plenty of time. While my chicken is cooking, for my chicken bowls, I'm gonna get started on my ground turkey taco bowl. So for the meat portion of this, we're gonna use ground turkey. You could obviously just use ground beef if you'd prefer to use that. I'm gonna use a can of black beans and some frozen corn, and then also some taco seasoning. And then I'm gonna cook everything in my large hexclad pan. All right, I wanna share a few key features about the hexclad hybrid pans and what makes them so good. These are the most durable pans on the market. They are metal utensil safe, they are dishwasher safe, and they are also oven safe up to 500 degrees. They are one of the only cookware companies that offers a lifetime warranty on their cookware, which is always a plus. And because hexclad is made to last a lifetime, it's also the most sustainable option for your kitchen. These are the only pans you're ever going to need. There's no need to replace these after a few years because they apparently hold up really well. I've personally only had these pans for a few weeks and I'm very impressed. However, I've watched a lot of YouTube reviews on these pans, and there's people who've had these pans for literally years and they are still in perfect condition. So I'm very impressed by this company. These are definitely a non-stick pan. You can cook with less oil, grease, or fat, and it makes cleanup a breeze. They're also non-toxic, which is very important to me. I really appreciate the fact that safety was their #1 priority when developing this cookware. But anyways, as you saw, I'm getting started on the turkey taco bowls. Super simple. I just browned my turkey, added the black beans, and then I added some frozen corn, and then of course my taco seasoning as well, and I'm just gonna let that simmer together. So I was gonna get out my rice maker and actually cook rice, but I forgot I had these in my pantry, and I'm just gonna use these up. So they're already cooked. They're from Thrive Market, and they're these already made, like I have white rice, and then this is a rice and quinoa. And I am just gonna go ahead and break these up and then plate them in my meal prep bowls, and they'll be good to go. I don't even have to cook them. So this is just gonna make one step a little easier, but I'm using rice for our taco bowls, but for the chicken, I'm gonna be using a cauliflower rice that I'm gonna make. I'm also realizing now I probably should have invested in some good meal prep bowls, but I'm just gonna use what I have. Hopefully I can find lids to all of these. You know, the struggle is real with little containers like this. So next it's time to plate my meal prep bowls. These are the taco turkey bowls again. I'm just adding the rice, and then I'm gonna put the turkey taco mixture right on top. These are gonna heat up really easily and really good. Things like this always heat up really good in my opinion, so I love a good rice bowl. Next I'm gonna use the 7-inch Santoku knife by Hexclad. I'm gonna chop up some cilantro and add some sour cream. I ended up using the entire thing of sour cream, and then I'm also going to add some lime juice and then a little bit of water, which I actually ended up adding too much water. Definitely don't make the same mistake that I did and start with just a tiny bit of water and add as needed. But here we are making a crema, and this is going to be something to drizzle on top of the taco turkey bowls, and it just adds like a little extra touch. This is definitely not necessary, but such an easy step just to kind of elevate your meal. I've never made this before, but it comes on one of my favorite recipes from Factor, and it's just like a little crema. I think I made it a little too watery, so I added too much water. I would just add maybe like a 1/4 cup of water. I added a little less than 1/2 cup, so start small, but I think it might set a little as it's in the fridge. It smells so good though, and it'll be really good just to drizzle on top of those taco bowls. Quick lunch break. This is the turkey taco bowl. I also added some cheddar cheese, that crema that I made, and then some pico de gallo salsa. Let's see how this tastes. You guys have to make this. It's so easy. This tastes delicious, and this will heat up really easily. According to my calculations, this has around 500 calories. There's about 61 grams of carbs, 24 grams of fat, 38 grams of protein. These numbers are, you know, not completely accurate, but that is a ballpark idea of what this meal is. So next we are getting started on some sweet potato prep. We eat a lot of sweet potatoes in this house. My husband loves sweet potatoes, my daughter loves them. My 6-month-old baby is new to loving them, but also equally loves them. So I am going to go ahead and prep some for our chicken bowls that I'm going to be making, but also I want to just have some stored in the fridge as well to pull out for breakfast or to add to easy meals for my daughter or something like that. So right now I'm just going through and getting them peeled and washed, and then I'm going to go ahead and get them chopped up. You could definitely buy these pre-cut, but I feel like a fresh sweet potato just tastes better when you fry it up than a pre-cut sweet potato or even like a frozen sweet potato. If you wanted to skip this step and keep it easy, just buy some frozen sweet potatoes, or you can get already like pre-cut sweet potatoes at many grocery stores. You could definitely do that as well to save some time. But here I'm using the 8-inch chef knife from Hexclad. It has an ergonomic handle that's great for cutting hard vegetables or potatoes or proteins. So this is definitely a good knife to have in your collection. And then to fry up the sweet potatoes, I'm cooking all of these in my 12-inch hexclad hybrid pan. And if you're unfamiliar with the term hybrid cookware, basically it's a cross between non-stick and stainless steel. They have a unique patent hexagon design on the cookware that creates a series of peaks and valleys. The peaks are your stainless steel, and the valleys are a non-stick surface that allows you to cook with less butter, grease, and oil. And most importantly, it makes cleanup very easy. Anyways, I just added my sweet potatoes to the pan, and I used butter today. Typically I use olive oil. I was just out of it, and then I seasoned it with seasoned salt. So this is gonna be plenty of sweet potatoes to meal prep, but I also have extra that I wanted to cut up, and I'm gonna go ahead and cook them as well and just keep them in the fridge because I like to have eggs and sweet potatoes for breakfast. My daughter loves these also, so I wanted to just have extra so that we can add to whatever we're eating. Also, you could totally just buy these like pre-cut, pre-peeled, but I just prefer them fresh. I feel like they taste better when you do it yourself. I don't think I've ever made cauliflower rice before, but it was really easy. All I did was put it in my hexclad pan, added some butter, and added some seasoned salt, and it actually tasted really good. My husband didn't like it. He doesn't really like this kind of stuff. He'd rather just have regular like white rice, but I really liked it, and it was a way to kind of lower my carb count for counting macros too. Barbecue chicken is done. It smells incredible. I love cooking chicken in the pressure cooker. It's always perfect. It's always like super moist and juicy, and it's just honestly the best way to cook chicken in my opinion. So I'm about to plate up our barbecue bowls. I have one bowl with the rest of the rice. I had some of this rice for lunch, but for the other bowls I'm gonna use the cauliflower rice that's cooking. I have the sweet potatoes that are basically done. And this rice is pretty much done too. These pans are incredible, by the way. Even like my sweet potatoes, they slightly got burned because I had the heat up too high, but they like don't stick to the pan still. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate up my chicken bowls. So I started with some rice. I had one bowl full of white rice, which was left over from lunch, and then the other bowls are the cauliflower rice. And then I'm adding the sweet potato on top of that, and then I will add the barbecue chicken to that as well. If you wanted to change up this recipe, you could simply just use a different sauce on your chicken. A really good macro-friendly sauce would be buffalo sauce. So you could do like a buffalo chicken bowl instead, really whatever your taste preference is. But here's how our bowls turned out, and they were very delicious. Anyways, next we are moving on to juicing some celery. This is actually something that I did religiously for a good like 6 to 8 months. A couple years ago, I would drink like 8 ounces of celery juice, if not a little bit more, every single morning on an empty stomach, and it really helped with some digestion issues that I was having, and I have been wanting to start this up again. I did have a baby less than 6 months ago, and you know, after you have a baby, your digestion is kind of a little off track, and I always feel so good when I start my day off with some celery juice, even though I don't really enjoy the taste of it. I really don't. It's not something I look forward to. I do love how it makes me feel, and I know that it is really good for me, especially the hydration you get from celery juice. It's a great way just to start your morning. So I wanted to go ahead and prep some of this. It's been a while since I've done this, and it kind of brought me back to a couple years ago when I did this every day, and my daughter, who was much younger at the time, would help me. She would help press the celery down, and it was so sad because I actually asked her, I said, Scarlett, do you want to make some celery juice with me? And she said no. So I think we're past that. She's apparently too cool for celery juice these days. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and disperse the celery juice that I have. I did use 4 stalks, and it got me about 24 ounces. Okay, I just got everything cleaned up, dishes done, and I'm getting started on my last and final meal, which we're actually just gonna go ahead and eat for dinner. This spaghetti squash is on the smaller side, so I'm just gonna cut it in half, and it's gonna be 1 serving for Ty, 1 serving for me. I'm gonna make my daughter just some regular pasta because I don't think she'll eat this. So all you're gonna need for this is a spaghetti squash, or you could do pasta, and then just make your spaghetti like normal. So I'm just using some marinara sauce and some ground beef, and then I'm gonna top everything with mozzarella. So I'm doing like a twice baked spaghetti squash. I will show you guys the process, but it's basically spaghetti. So using a spaghetti squash instead of actual pasta is a more carb-friendly way to eat spaghetti, and it's also really good. My husband and I love spaghetti squash. It's so good. However, the hardest part about spaghetti squash is they are so hard to cut. So I brought in backup, and my husband was just admiring the Damascus steel, if you could not tell. He was showing me the like the pattern. There's like a really cool pattern in Damascus steel. You see like this like squiggly, swirly pattern, and he was admiring that. But anyways, to cook the spaghetti squash, this is how I do it. I always get it cut in half, which again is the hardest part, but once it's cut in half, I scoop out all of the seeds, and then typically I will drizzle olive oil on top of it, but again, I was out of olive oil, so I just used some melted butter, and then I just like to season my spaghetti squash with salt and pepper, and then I put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 to 45 minutes. It really just depends on how large your squash is. You can definitely check it with a fork once you flip it over, and your fork easily can poke the spaghetti squash. That means it's probably done. All right, next I'm gonna make the meat sauce. This is a pretty self-explanatory process. I'm sure most of you guys know how to do this, but I'm just browning some ground beef. I'm gonna add some garlic powder to season the ground beef, and then I'm just gonna add in my marinara sauce, and this is gonna be the filling for my twice baked spaghetti squash. If you've never tried spaghetti squash, I just want to say this because I've seen people make this mistake, and I know it sounds so simple, but the reminder is always very helpful. When you're buying a spaghetti squash, it's literally called spaghetti squash. Don't buy a regular squash. You have to buy the spaghetti one, otherwise you won't get these noodle looking things. As you can see, it looks like noodles when you take your fork and kind of shred it. But after you kind of fluff your spaghetti squash, you can go ahead and add your meat sauce mixture and then top it with some mozzarella cheese. This is a very important step. It's very good once you get the cheese all bubbly and melted. Pop that back in your oven and just let the cheese melt, and voila, there you have it. So good. One of our favorite meals. Anyways, that is going to conclude today's recipes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this gave you some inspiration if you're a busy mom or also tracking macros or just simply wanting to eat healthy and wanted some new ideas. Hopefully this helped inspire you. If you guys make any of these recipes, let me know down below. I am so excited to have a fridge stocked full of meals for the week now. This is just going to make the week so much easier. I know these meal prepping days are so much work, but once you have everything done, it's just going to make the rest of the week so nice. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.